My name is Chris Taylor, and this is Speak. I am a person of many different things. When I say I have done it all, I have literally, I am, you can find me anywhere in the world, and Chris will be there trying to figure out how to do it or act. But just a little background about me. So I was born and raised on 76th Avenue off of Hillside and Bancroft. And then we later moved to 78th Avenue in between Hillside and MacArthur. And so when I say me and my brother had every opportunity to get into drugs, to get into alcohol, but we never did. Our parents raised us in a God fearing house, so there not only were we God fearing as children, but we were also parent fearing as children. Both of my parents, my mom and my dad, they're from Alabama, as well as a big portion of my family is from Alabama. So I really am this mix of Southern and California put together. And so many times people often ask me, where are you from? You're not from Oakland, you're not from California, because they simply pick up on the Southern hospitality. Born and raised here in Oakland with my brother. I have one older brother, Daniel Taylor, currently serving for the military right now. I'm sorry, not the military, but the Navy in San Diego. He is much, much older than me. I am simply saying much older because I can't wait to show him this interview so I can show him how old I really think he is. I think it's just going to be amazing. But he's my older brother, love him dearly. We were raised in a God fearing house. Our parents taught us to love God and always put God first. So that's a really big part of who I am. It's a part of who we are and how we were raised. Other than that, my family, my wife, she's a big part of who I am. My church family, and then my business is also a very large part of who I am and kind of what I've become today. Everything has kind of reared me up to be this strong person. So whether it's been through church, whether it's been through family, or whether it's been through my business, has all developed and created this person known as Chris Taylor. I am a business owner locally here in Oakland, California, the best place in the world, Oakland. So I have a mix of both Oakland and Southern mixed together. And so it really has been the drive of my business, really bringing the Southern comfort as well as the California fresh cuisine and merging those things together. And now I have a business. So it's really been a journey, a great journey. The business started in 2012, and here we are in 2018, still thriving and still moving forward and growing and expanding. I am also a husband to the beautiful Antoinette Taylor. I also am over my young adult ministry at Cosmopolitan Baptist Church. I also I'm a godfather, I'm also a friend, I'm a brother. You name it, I kind of have put the hat on and I have worn it. So that's who I am as a person. If I was to take a song that would describe me, it would be Let's Give Them Something to Talk About. Many times when you do a lot of things, you really get put in the limelight. And so many people kind of look for that one thing, oh, he messed up there, or he did this, or he did that wrong. So it's really me just always trying to give somebody something to talk about. If you're going to talk, let's talk about something positive. Let's talk about something that I'm doing to influence the community. Let's talk about something I'm doing to influence my local peers or church family. So that's kind of my motto. I don't know who wrote it. One of my passions really, I'm a people's person, which I kind of that's probably why I'm in the field that I'm in. I really have a passion and a heart for people, which is also probably why I'm over the young adult ministry at my church. I love to be around people. I love to pick up on people's energy. And whether it's just smiling at them to make them smile or talking to them to make them talk, whatever it is, that's really my passion, to be able to come into a room and really just change the atmosphere, whatever atmosphere it is, whether it's a sad one, a happy one, whatever it is, just coming in and just being able to lift the spirit of the room is one of my biggest passions. One of my greatest challenges would have to be balancing everything that I do. I don't want to come across as someone that's just always doing something, but I definitely, as they would say, have a lot of spoons or a lot of pots in the fire. As I said, I'm married. I have a family, godchildren. I have a ministry at my church that I'm actively involved in, not only with the young adult ministry, but several different things in my church. And then I'm an entrepreneur. So one of my greatest challenges is really just trying to bring all those things together, or making sure I allot the proper time to each thing so nothing is being left behind, or I don't have an angry wife. Love you, babe. Um, all that good stuff. Really, just making sure that the young adult ministry at my church, that we're moving along, we're progressing, and then at the end of the day, making sure that my business is still growing and expanding. God has said to me about my life. I mean, I really don't even know where to start. That's such a big question. It's such a major question. It's such a question that's filled with so many different things. He said so much to me in reference to my life, my family, my marriage, my business. So really just making sure that I'm on target. Many times you receive something from God, and that's his purpose. That's what he's there to do, is to make sure that he plants something in you. The rest is really up to the person to move forward and to get the job done. And really all you're doing by getting it done is you're asking God to bless it. You're asking him to push it forward. You're asking him to move it forward. He gives the vision, you do the work, and he's going to multiply it. So that's kind of where I am right now, is just making sure that everything he's given me, I'm really treating it as if it's my own baby, and growing it and nurturing it to make sure that it's growing in every aspect, whether it's at my church, whether it's at home, whether it's my business. Many times we only see the titles of those things. So we see the church, we see the family, and then we see our business. But it's many subdivisions of each of those things. It's the people that we affect at our churches, in our ministries. It's the people we affect in our families. It's the people that we hire as business owners that we also affect. So that, if I was to give my younger self advice, um, one thing I often hear people say is, "Oh, I wouldn't change anything about my younger life. I wouldn't change anything about my life." And in the back of my head, I'm always kind of thinking, "Okay, you're lying." So I mean, there's many things that I probably would change. There's many things that I would probably go back and say, hey, don't do that, because 10 years from now, 5 years from now, that's going to affect you. That's going to cause this. That's going to do this. So I definitely have those, that little box of things that I definitely would go back and say, hey, change this or do this differently. But other than that, I never was a person or younger person that was in the streets or into drugs or alcohol, which is one of my bigger testimonies, actually. My family, we were raised in an area that they actually call the killing zone in Oakland. So I was born and raised on 76th Avenue off of Hillside and Bancroft. And then we later moved to 78th Avenue in between Hillside and MacArthur. And so when I say me and my brother had every opportunity to get into drugs, to get into alcohol. But we never did certain things. So one of my testimonies that I always tell people when they ask, "Well, what's your upbringing? What's this? What's that?" And especially when I have the opportunity to talk to younger people, since I can't go back and physically talk to my younger self, I love talking to other younger people so I can let them know, hey, this may be your situation, but that doesn't have to be your end result. I wasn't really one of those younger people that wasted a lot of time, but I did procrastinate. One of my biggest issues being younger was procrastination. And it wasn't that I just didn't do anything. I had the ideas, I had the thought process, but I didn't move fast enough. And I'm a firm believer of revolving doors, that doors are always opening, they're always closing, they're always moving, they're closing, they're locking, they're whatever it is. I'm a firm believer of that. So if I was to give advice to my younger self, it would be to move faster on opportunities. It would be move faster on different situations so that you can be more advanced than what you are now. To 2010, people really start asking, "Hey, are you, doing your own events? Are you doing this, or can you do this?" And so every now and then, I would do events under my own umbrella, and then 2011, it really started hitting home. Like, if I'm making this money for this person, why can't I take my visions, my goals, and really make that same amount of money, if not more, for myself? So in 2012, I went to the city of Oakland and I got my own license. I got my own business name. And from there, it's been history. The name of my business is Zella B. Boozer Catering, also known as ZBB Catering. It's really put together a compilation of both my grandmothers. So my mother's mother name was Zella B, and then my dad's mother name was her middle name was Boozer. So I put both of those names together, which gives you Zella B Boozer Catering.